Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and you guys know what time it is. Time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And I came across a video by Jerry Ward, aka Junkie Ward, aka Teddy two times, talking about how he will never compromise. And he went on and on and on about his multivitamin. So I'm joined here by Jerry's Cocoa Puff. Hey everybody, it's Jerry Ward here, Bio the Read, Raw TV. Oh, let me square this up. That's a Freemason joke, because like we use a square, a compass, and I was kind of hoping that maybe I could use some of my magic and you guys would buy my multivitamin because it's just better than creatine. The hell off of me. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my +5 hat of speechcraft and see if we can discuss this a little more intelligently. You know, that was interesting. That was interesting because Jerry came on there, and one of his opening statements, he was talking about being in the supplement industry himself and having his own supplement line, which is GIFD, which is Get It Fucking Done Labs. Yeah, that's a fantastic name there, Jerry. Fantastic name. And the first thing he said up front is that, you know what, a lot of people are like, why would you make a multivitamin? Why would you make a multivitamin? Well, in my opinion, multivitamin is better than creatine. It's more important than even creatine. Like, really, Jerry? Because he's sitting there the whole time and he's holding it up. You guys remember that Cat Williams skit? This shit right here, this shit right here, this shit right here, it's called death. Other than this is actually a useful product. This was liquid grip. Like, this is an indispensable product. Like, if you deadlift like twice a week like I do, this is what you need. In fact, you guys can get this off my Amazon affiliate link, which can be found down below. It can be found by About tab, my main tab, my little Amazon link. You click that, I get like 6% of anything you buy at Amazon, including liquid grip. That was a shameless look. I had a little fun with that. No one ever uses my links. But the point is, this is a useful product. You know what? Creatine is a useful product. And the audacity of it to literally stand there and talk about how a multivitamin is even more important than creatine. You guys know how ludicrous that is? Look at the research. Creatine is one of the very few supplements that has ever been found to help with your gains. All right? One of the very few supplements found to help with your muscle growth. And it has stood the test of time. And really, literally the cheapest creatine out there. Right? The cheapest one, the creatine monohydrate, just taken by itself, mixed with water, has a better effect than the more expensive newer versions that come out. It's like time-tested, study after study after study after study has shown that it works. And it's one of the only supplements that works, and it's dirt cheap. Like literally $20, $30 buys you an entire 1 year supply. Right? You can buy a bulk off Amazon anywhere else. And if you buy that $20 thing using my link, I will get like what, 60 cents, or is it $1.20? $1.20, man. I'll get $1 out of it. Get on it, man. I'm gonna make a fortune selling creatine. So the point is, creatine works. You know what? Liquid grip works. This will help your gains. This is probably better than any supplement I've ever found. Liquid grip, man. Good stuff. And yes, I use it all the time. This is the only thing that slows me down between sets on speed work on my deadlift if I want to reapply and let it dry in the fan. And I want to get a good fan too. But the point is, he's standing there saying that it's better. Based upon what? All right, if we look at the evidence, the literature, it's basically a mixed bag. Multivitamins fall into 3 categories. And I've been saying this for years. The leading researchers are put into these 3 categories. They literally have some of them that think that they don't work at all, right? Multivitamins don't work. They don't do anything. They're inert for the most part. There's others who think that they're beneficial, and there are others that think that they're potentially dangerous. All right, that's your 3 categories. That's the leading researchers in the field. The leading researchers and PhDs in the field of nutritional science are split on that. Now, if they can't figure it out, then you and I sure as hell are not going to figure it out outside of just maybe trying some anecdote. But here's the problem. Multivitamins aren't necessary if you have a good balanced diet. And let's come back over to the point. If you're deficient in one thing, he's like, well, if you're deficient in anything, which is unlikely in America, if you're deficient in anything, it could impede your gains. Yeah, but still not as much as the difference between taking creatine or not. And furthermore, how are you going to know what you are short in? And if you're short in one thing and then you overdose something else in the multivitamin, you reduce absorption anyways. Like multivitamins that are just a blend of random stuff, they don't create the synergy he talked about. Oftentimes they can impede the absorption of other things. Like if you get too much zinc in your diet, you will develop a copper absorption issue, right? You'll struggle to absorb copper. So you shouldn't just be taking random vitamins and minerals. Okay, granted, if you know you're deficient in something because you eat a deficient diet, all right, that does make sense, right? If you're a vegan, you should probably take B12. If you don't get sunlight or it's wintertime, you should probably take vitamin D3. In fact, that's one of the few things I take. I take vitamin D3, one of the few supplements I use. And I know I might benefit from it, and it's relatively safe and it's cheap. But he went on about the multivitamins as if you actually need it. And as if he's some great no-compromise person because he's putting out a product that isn't proven to work. And he went on with this spiel, and he basically said, well, these others, they produce expensive ones, and that's what I found out. I wanted to produce an inexpensive one, and I talked to my manufacturers, and they told me, well, you could put this blend in here and then upsell it, and this is what most people do. And he said, well, I don't want to do that. They were honest with me about it, but that blend doesn't work, and I wanted to produce the best product at the best price. And it's like, you can get cheap multivitamins at Walmart. Like if you really wanted a multivitamin, you just walk into Walmart and get a cheap one. And I promise you it's going to be just as cheap as Jerry's, if not cheaper. So what's special about your multivitamin? And the other thing we come around to, they're not proven to work. And that's even the worst point is, again, he's a supplement pimp. And we need to keep in mind, the fact that he uses it is not beneficial. How is that useful? We have a guy who is hurt repeatedly over and over and over and over. If we went just off anecdote of taking a multivitamin versus not, Jerry and I are the same age. You guys see me squat and deadlift weights every single week that Jerry could never even get within hundreds of pounds of. You guys see me bench every single week weights heavier than Jerry tore both of his titties doing last year when he tried to bench press. Tore both of his pecs attempting and failing to bench a weight that I do routinely quite a bit more than all the time, every single week. We're the same age. Now, if we're just going to use anecdote, I would look at that and be like, well, maybe multivitamins cause injuries. Like if we're just going to throw research aside and just go on our personal anecdote, Jerry Blaha's a bunch of gear. He's not any bigger than I am. He's always injured. I'm not. Right? We could argue if we just wanted to use goofy-ass anecdote and ignore the science, we could conclude that not taking a multivitamin lets you lift heavy without getting hurt, which is not true. That's absurd. That's insane. But if we remove science and we just go off the anecdote, that's what it would say in the case of just comparing he and I. I don't take a multivitamin. I don't take them at all. I think they're potentially risky, and I'm not going to throw my money away on something I don't need that's potentially risky that most likely doesn't have any benefits. I could just eat a balanced diet and not tear both of my titties on a bench press. And therein lies the problem with it. You know, he wants to use his anecdote and say, well, I use it, but it's like, Jerry, you're weak and you can't lift anything and you get hurt all the time. I don't know if that's really the best source of information. Furthermore, he's like, I've taken it my whole life. Well, you also developed, you know, all sorts of drug addictions. Maybe you just want to take a pill for everything. I don't know. But the point is that that's your selling point when the science doesn't support it, and to literally say that something like a multivitamin is more important, more useful than creatine for people who are trying to make gains, seriously? One of the few supplements that actually has been proven to work, because there aren't many. You're actually going to put something unproven more important than it is potentially dangerous. And that comes back over to the point. You know, he talks about no compromise. And people always give me a hard time with it. Why do you give him a hard time about the junkie thing? Well, because I saw his drug stack before a few years ago, directly from the horse's mouth. Number two, the guy talks about addiction being in the past, and then he cranks out a product himself that he produced couple years ago called Xanax, which he claims has all the benefits of Xanax. And it's like, the benefits of Xanax? What benefits of Xanax are you getting when you're getting it from anywhere but your doctor? Like, if you need Xanax or you need the benefits of Xanax, you go get a prescription for it. That's a prescription medication. The benefits of it? So you're claiming the benefits of a pharmaceutical drug that people take for anxiety and other issues, that you're going to produce an over-the-counter product that replicates it? And just sell it to people, sell it to kids, sell it to teenagers? And then claim that your drug use and drug promotion is all in the past. And you guys see why when he does stuff like that, why I give him a hard time and call him Junkie Ward? Other than, if he could sell what he considers a legal version of Xanax, then it's not so much in the past, is it? And that's the point we come to. No compromise. He doesn't ever compromise. He sells the best products. Yeah, up to and including products that he claims replicate all the benefits of a pharmaceutical prescription drug that actually a lot of people kind of get addicted to and have problems with. Yeah, okay. No compromise at all there, Jerry, Mr. I'm clean and sober. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.